Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and today's video is a solo playthrough of Sleeping Gods. This, one way or another, will be the epic conclusion of Season 1 of my campaign playthrough of Sleeping Gods. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm all set up to play the final episode in this first season of my Sleeping Gods playthrough. One way or another, this will be the finale. But I hope you've enjoyed the journey thus far. If you are just joining me, this is not a great place to start. I would suggest you go back to episode 1 and start there. Otherwise, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you're so inclined, you can make a donation to Table for One on my Ko-fi page. There will be info at the end of the video. But if you just can't wait, there's a link in the description as well. So let's jump right into it. Brief recap. Last time we went down here to Zockmere, and we were working on this quest here, Idol, where we were looking for some lost idol, and it's somewhere northeast of Zockmere. So we tried, I think that was either location, I think it was R30 where we got that one here. I think we tried R36 and then we tried R21 and we didn't have any luck. So what I am thinking for this time is circling over here to R2, and then depending on what that is, either swinging back around this island here to R19, and hopefully if we can find it between one of those two places, then we can get back to Zockmere, complete the quest. Depending on how R2 goes and how I'm feeling at that point, we might make that loop a little longer, come down here by Torz's Apothecary, because it sounds cool. It's just a port. I don't know that I'll need to take a port action, but there's 2 explorations there that might be helpful as well. Because in the last video, in episode 7, I did not get any totems. I got some cool stuff, but no totems in episode 7. So I wouldn't mind getting at least one this time. I've got 9 totems right now. 8 of them are new to me that I've never seen before. And I think in my previous playthroughs of Sleeping Gods, I think I got 7 and 8 totems respectively. So 9's a new record, but it's not an especially high number. So getting a few more would not hurt. So let's get going. Our first turn is going to start with a ship action. It looks like I might want to go to the bridge because I've got command tokens here on this Amulet of the Fox and the Elzarian Cookbook, as well as, these two, the Stone of Blood and the Tusk of Slovalul. And then I've also got 2 command on Canaan up there. So I've got a lot of command out there on the board that I might want to remove. So I've got more of those actions available. Oh, I've got one here too on the Pan Shield. Yeah, a lot of command tokens. I think I got into combat right at the end of the last episode, so that's how things are looking. Otherwise, everybody looks okay. There's no fatigue on anyone. I've got 1 damage on Raphael, so I'm in pretty good shape in terms of being ready for either combat or challenges. So yeah, for the boat action, let's go to the bridge, and we can remove command from all locations. And then I gain 2 command plus 1 for Laurent's ability. So 3 command now to spend. And I also get to draw an ability card. So we'll take the next one off the top of the deck. And we have Sharp Eye. It's a 6. And this would grant plus 1 accuracy to whoever has it equipped. Costs 3 command to equip. It's got perception. So I'm not going to keep this in hand. I'm going to discard this one. I want to get the 6 back in the pile. We're more than halfway through the pile. It's possible we'll need a reshuffle mid video today, so I'd like to have the higher numbers in there. I've got a 5 and 2 4s in hand. I really want to draw the low numbers and equip them to get them out of the deck. But that's it for the ship action. I don't think I'm going to take any command actions right now, so we're going to go to the first event. These are the deadly events. So we've got 6 of these today, and we're starting with Hurricane. Okay, a ruthless storm thrashes the ship. So you can turn back the way you came. You cannot travel this turn. Ooh, I do want to travel. Or you can sail through. It's a savvy test of 7. If you fail, 3 ship damage. Yeah, I think I definitely want to travel this turn, though, because I want to go to here and explore R2. If we don't do that, then we can't travel this turn. What would we do instead? we don't have anywhere to explore. We've already explored R21. There's no market. There's no port. So I guess we're going to go ahead and travel. So it's a savvy test of 7. If we fail, it's 3 ship damage. We don't want to fail. Luckily, we're in a great position to deal with this. I'm just going to put fatigue on Laurent and on Gregory. And that gets us up to 6 savvy. We draw a fate card, and all we need to draw is at least a 1. We draw a 5. So that's plenty. I guess I could have fatigued just one of them, and we probably would have been okay. But I still think that was the right move. So we had 7 savvy, or we had 11 savvy. We only needed 7. So we pass. We can continue to travel this turn. We don't take any ship damage. So now we get to take some actions, and I will start with travel action. One other thing that's nice about either of these loops that I laid out at the beginning is there are no hazards in the way. And there's really very few like sailing hazards on this page. There's some rocks here, some fog up here. Other than that, it's a pretty safe page to get around. It's nice and easy. So I'm not going to fatigue anyone. I'm just going to draw fate, and we get a 2. Okay, so we can travel up to 1 space. We will go here. So we've sailed across the binding, and now we can take an action. And my second action for the round will be to explore. We're going to explore location R2. And when we explore, because Marco has engaged, we gain 1 command. So we've got a nice little pool of command built up. That's great. So we open up to paragraph R2, and there's a couple keywords to check. First, if keyword unpaid, we turn somewhere else. We do not have keyword unpaid. Then if keyword Emberstone, turn to a different paragraph. We don't have keyword Emberstone either. So there's a lot going on at this location. So we'll just continue, and it reads, human skeletons lie on the beach, their bony hands stretching out toward the sea. As you land to investigate, the ground beneath you begins to spin. The sky turns red, and a screeching voice calls out unfamiliar words. Then, as quickly as it started, the maddening vision ceases. The sky returns to normal, and a sickly creature emerges from the long grass at the edge of the sand. A red mask covers its face, and its limbs, sinews rotting and filled with maggots, beckon to you. Come closer, it urges with clawed fingers. That sounds pretty gosh darn ominous to me. We have 2 options. We can attempt to communicate with the monster, or we can retreat to the manticore, which is usually just return to the ship, but that is a strength test of 7, and if you fail, you lose 2 health and gain 2 madness. So we're clearly dealing with something of interest here, and I don't know that I want to risk 2 madness. I'm not too worried about minus 2 health, but 2 madness is rough. I don't want to risk that just to run away. So I guess we're going to attempt to communicate with the monster, which doesn't have a test involved. We just turn to another paragraph. So I would not be surprised to find that we end in combat. But this new paragraph reads, the monster's voice is a choking rasp. I require the Emberstone. Bring it to me. Bring it to me and I will make you wealthy. So now it says draw fate. If 1 to 3, gain 1 madness. If 4, gain a madness and a fatigue. If 5 or 6, no effect. Boy, oh boy, this is new. So let's grab this and we draw a 2. Okay. So that means we 1 to 3 gain 1 madness. And madness, you'll recall, whoever we give this to, if they participate in a challenge, they lose 1 health. That's rough. I'm going to give it to Raphael because he participates in the least challenges, I think. So he's got madness now. And then we have 3 options. We can retreat, which is just return to the ship with no challenge this time. So we can easily get out of here. We can ask why the creature wants the Emberstone, or we can ask where to find the Emberstone. So yeah, I don't know that I have a lot of trust for this thing. Maybe we would like to know what it wants to do with this Emberstone. So let's ask the creature why it wants the Emberstone. We turn to a new page and it reads, the creature moans. It used to belong to me. I have grown cursed without it. Decay and madness define me. I hunger for flesh, but that is not my true form. I am beautiful, an angel of the skies, not this cursed demon you see now. Return it to me. Return the Emberstone. The creature coughs, spewing maggots all over the sand. Well, that is horrifying. And we get to draw fate again to see if we gain more madness or madness and fatigue. So let's see what we get. We get a 3. So that is going to be another madness. Oof, I don't like sticking around talking to this thing. So who am I going to give this to? Maybe Gregory, because I only really use him for the savvy challenges, and I can still use Laurent, and he has more other icons that I can use. Than Gregory does, because they both have a strength, they both have a perception, but Laurent also has a craft. But I don't like the way this madness is stacking up. So our options now are we can still ask where to find the Emberstone, or we can retreat. And I guess we've come this far, so let's find out where we can find it. Assuming this creature's sob story is true. But if it is true, we'd certainly like to help. So we're going to read this next paragraph, which says, "The sisters with 3 eyes have the stone. They tried to trick me, but I made them pay. Then they ran away to the apothecary." Now we need to draw fate again. Oh boy, let's stop talking to this thing. We get a 2. Well, here's all these low numbers I wanted to equip. That's too bad. Okay, another madness for me. And I think this one's going on Kasumi. Because I don't know. She doesn't participate in challenges hardly at all. And our options now are, again, ask why the creature wants the Emberstone or retreat. We will retreat at this point. We've done all the options we can. So that was pretty rough. We've got madness all over the place. So I think before my turn ends, I'm going to use Marco's ability here. I'm going to pay 1 command. I need to pay 1 food, and I can remove a madness and heal 1 health. And I've got 4 vegetables. That's quite a lot. So I will pay 1 vegetable to heal 1 health. I've only got 1 damage. I'll take it off Raphael, and then 1 madness. And of all those characters, I'd rather Gregory be able to use his challenge abilities. Although looking at it now, you just take 1 health damage when you participate in a challenge. That's too bad. That's not too bad. I'm gonna actually let Gregory stay mad. I'm gonna take this off Kasumi. Because Gregory is rarely in danger of running out of health, and Kasumi frequently is because she's got high accuracy and damage, so I use her a lot in combat, but she has no block. So Gregory can take a hit, Raphael can take a hit, that's fine. They've both got more health than any other characters. I don't want Kasumi to take damage if we have to do like a perception test. So, all right, that was the end of turn 1. That was certainly interesting. So let's start turn 2 now. We need to do a ship action. I'm going to go to the quarters. So I can remove 2 spent command. I've only got the 1. And then I gain 3 command. So I've got 6 command now. And I can draw an ability card. I just drew 3 low numbers in a row. That shouldn't have any effect. Oh, maybe more than that. 4 low numbers in a row. 2, 2, 3, 2. Gosh, it's probably too late now. But I think I'm going to use Gloria's ability. Maybe I should do that before the ship action because I only... What did I have? I had 3 of these, and 1 was on Marco. If I spend another one first for Gloria and then do the ship action, then I can take it back off again. Let's do this a little bit out of order here. Let's draw 2 ability cards. I'm going to do that before we do the ship action. We get a 6 and a 3. That kind of figures. We'll at least look at them. The 6 I'm not too worried about, but the 3, healthy. This crew member has +1 health. That's interesting. So I'm going to have to discard down, but I might equip that 3 just because it's the lowest number I have in hand. And I've got too many cards in hand. I've got to discard down. Let's get rid of this 6, and then we'll get rid of a 5, and that's a cunning. That's okay because I'm going to equip this cunning, which will cost me 2 command. So this crew member has +1 health. Who do I want to give this to? I can either give it to Mac or to Captain Odessa. I mean, I can give it to anyone, but they're my 2 cunning people. And let's put it on Mac. I'd rather have more cunning on one person. So if I have to do a cunning test, she has 4. That's a pretty good start. Okay, so that's equipped. Then I'll do the ship action. So I remove 2 command, 1 and 2, and now gain 3 command. All right, so I have 3 command at this point, and now I draw an ability card, and we get a 3, okay? And this one is perception. Rather would have gotten some of those 2s out of there, but 3's not bad. Might I want to equip this to Kasumi? What does it say? I forgot to check. Discard this equipped card to repair 2. So I think that means to take care of 2 ship damage. And you know what? Let's go ahead right away. Spend 2 command. I'm going to equip this to Kasumi. So she is my perception person. She's got 3 perception. That's helpful. And now we have to draw an event. Event number 2. We have Blood Moon. As a crimson moon rises, a wave of madness spreads. No, not more madness. So we have a savvy test of 9 to withstand the madness. If we fail, lose 3 health, gain 2 madness. We've got to pass this savvy test of 9. So I guess I'm going to put Gregory and Laurent on it. So they're both double fatigued. And Gregory has madness and is participating in this challenge to avoid the spread of madness. So he's got to take 1 health damage. So now we have a savvy test of 9. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have any other sources of savvy. So we'd want to draw a 3 or higher. I have 1 command if I want to redraw. Do I want to fatigue anyone else to improve the odds? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to draw and hope it's a 3 or higher. A 2. Oh no, that's terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9. And if I had 2 command, I could use max ability to just add 1 to this and it would be all great. But I've only got 1 command, so my only option is I'm going to put this on my gear and draw again and hope for a higher number. 1. Oh no, I can't believe just the way the timing worked out with Gloria. 2 and a 1. Oh man, I wish those were out of the deck. That was bad. Lose 3 health, gain 2 madness. I'm out of madness tokens. This is all I've got. And I did have people participate in the challenge, so they've got to take this stuff first. We're going to put the health. We're also going to take all 3 health damage because Gregory, when we go to sick bay, he can only do 1 healing to himself. He can do 2 elsewhere. No, Laurent needs madness. And this other one, man, where's this gonna go? I think to Marco. I think he's gonna get the madness now. Because he's got the same amount of strength as Kanan, but they've both got cunning, but Kanan's also got a savvy, who probably should have fatigued him. That was tough. I've got a fair amount of fatigue. I can't really do any more savvy tests, and I've got a bunch of madness. Madness abounds. And so I could go to this port. We do want to probably go to the apothecary based off what that monster told us, to look for the sisters with 3 eyes, I think it said. They ran to the apothecary, so we'll probably go around this way. But the port is there, and one thing that annoys me about the port is that you can go to the healer, you can take care of health, you can take care of fatigue, all that good stuff, but you can't take care of any of these tokens. These status tokens can't be healed at the port, and I wish they could. But wow, I can't believe when I decided to draw, I got a 6 and a 3, and there's just all these 2s and 1s all over the place. I would have loved to have gotten those out of the deck. That was just poor timing. So let's start taking some actions. I'm going to start with a travel action. We're going to go here to R40 next to the port at the apothecary. So we're going to travel. I'm just going to draw, and we get a 5. So we can go up to 2 spaces, but I'm only going to go 1. We're going to go right here. And now for the second action, I will explore location R40. And again, because of engage, when we explore, we get a command. And I think locations, by the port like that are generally pretty safe. I've got this command. I could use it to remove I could pay 1 command and a food to remove madness, but let's see how R40 goes. And then I'll either remove madness or, I don't know, maybe I want to use the cookbook and heal a bunch of health and fatigue. I'm not sure. So R40 has a couple of qualifiers. If keyword generous, we do not have keyword generous. Followed by if keyword unpaid. I wonder what that unpaid is about. That's not the first time. We've seen that at least at R2, and I feel like maybe we've seen it somewhere else too. But we don't have either of those keywords, so we can continue on to Torza's apothecary. An expansive bamboo house sits on impossibly tall stilts. You make the climb up a rickety stair to reach the front door. As you step inside, a storm of 1,000 competing spices and herbs hits your nose at once and nearly knocks you over. "Welcome, traveler," says a woman hidden behind a wall of hanging herbs. "Perhaps some tea?" Of course, you've heard of this place, haven't you? We're known throughout the Wandering Sea. And we have 4 options. The last is always leave, return to the ship. Of the other 3, we can buy some tea. That is pay 1 coin, remove 3 status effects. Oh, really? How about that? All right, I think I'll do that because I got a lot of coins. Let's just start with that. Let's pay a coin, remove 3 status effects. Let's do that right now. Here's a coin, 3 status effects. I've got 4 madness. I'm going to leave 1 on Raphael. That one doesn't really bother me that much, but Marco and Laurent and Gregory. They really liked that tea. So that was worth it already. I'm going to go out of order here, but we can buy Zockmere wine, pay 1 coin, gain adventure card 98, Zockmere wine. And you know what? Why not? We've got the coins. Let's spend them. Spend 1 coin to gain adventure card 98. Flip it over, and it is Zockmere wine. So for 1 command, we can remove a fatigue and a low morale. Great. So we can add this to our inventory of adventure cards here. I'll just kind of put it up with these more utility type cards. Good to have. See if I can straighten it out a little. There we go. And then our last option is speak to the tea house patrons. Unavailable if keyword third. We do not have that one. Or Emberstone, which we do not have. Surprisingly, we did not get a quest card from 98. Or if you have adventure card 120, it's a totem called Nightmare Stone, and we do not have that. So let's do that. Let's speak to the tea house patrons. And I like that it mentioned keyword Emberstone. That means maybe we're in the right place to find the sisters with 3 eyes. So we turn to a different paragraph, which reads, a beautiful woman greets you, then opens her 3rd eye, and you can't help but flinch. Never seen that, have you? Thousands of years ago, people like me were revered as prognosticators. Now we scrape by, belonging to nowhere, trading and drifting our way through life. Many of us hide our 3rd eye behind a headband. We do not judge any who would be a friend, says Kasumi. That's a somewhat naive sentiment for this part of the world, says the woman, blinking her 3rd eye. But if that be the case, then I will accept your friendship. I am Krikoto. I sailed these seas with my sister, but we argued recently, and she left me here. She took our ship, the Hellflyer, and I have no way to reach her. So we have 2 options. We can agree to help her, find her sister, or we could wish her luck and bid farewell. If we bid farewell, we just go back to the main Torres' Apothecary entry, and we're going to go back to the ship. So if we want to chase down whatever's going on with this monster that wants the Emberstone, then we need to agree to help her find her sister. And we're going to do that because that's our best chance of finding a totem right now. Because if we continue to go after this idol quest, it's not going to be at R87. We'd only explore that because we're here. It'll either be at R19 or maybe up here at R66. But that's going to take us a long time to kind of deal with all that. So it might be better to chase down this one and hope that we can get a totem this way, because I would like to get more of those. So we will agree to help Krikoto find her sister. And, I wonder if she's telling the truth. Maybe her sister was that monster that we saw. Although the monster said there were sisters with 3 eyes. So, I don't know. Interesting. Let's continue. So there's a new paragraph to turn to, and it reads, Krikoto bows. Thank you for your kind offer. I would generally decline, but I'm in no position to be picky. Perhaps you're a better lot than I assumed. We should start our search to the east, near the northern shore of the large jungle island. We own a secret cave house there. I'll likely not be much help to you, though. I don't like hard work, but I'll pay my way if that helps. Gain 1 coin, gain quest 188. So here's a coin. At least we got a coin back. And then we gain quest 188. So when we flip this over, we have Krikoto's sister. We agreed to help a woman with 3 eyes search for her sister. Her sister abandoned her and sailed away with their ship, the Hellflyer. Krikoto wants us to start searching on the northern shore of the large jungle island to the east. So that's interesting because east of here, that's going to be the next page. And that has got to be this jungle island. And so, because that is a large island, that looks very jungly. So northern coast, that's either got to be R24 or maybe R27. I know she said they own some sort of cave house, but that is a lot of travel to get over there. And I was kind of hoping to do some Zockmere stuff. We're getting far from Zockmere now. So we're here. If we wanted to travel that way, 1 distance would cross the page. And then we can go Oh, how's that? Okay, that island is black. Okay, so we're here. So we'd go on the bottom half. 1, 2, 3, which includes this hazard. 4. This would be 5. I don't think we can go that far. Now we do have this Hellfire Coal, which says for one command we can move the ship 3 distance. 1, 2, 3. And then we'd be pretty close to exploring it, so it wouldn't be too far away. But at that point, we might as well just take a travel action and use the Lucran steam engine if we need to get all the way here and try R24. So I think we are going to, well, we definitely take the quest. We take the quest. I think we're going to prioritize that because, again, it is our best lead, I think, for getting a totem. We could still try and do idle. If we come up onto the other page over here, we're going to have to work our way back one way or another. So maybe we can try some of these other locations on the way, and we'll see if we can knock out idle as well. But that is going to be the end of that explore action, unless I want to spend a command to cook or do something else. But I think I'm going to leave it there. We will start the next turn. We are a third of the way through our turns. So next turn starts, turn 3, and we need to take a ship action. And the only command I've spent is here on the gear. So I think rather than go to the bridge, I'm going to go to sickbay this time. And we can heal 1 health, plus with Gregory's ability, heal 1 health on anyone but Gregory. I'm going to take 2 health off of Laurent. And then we gain 3 command. So here's 3 command. And then we draw an ability card. So we gain this one. Ooh, a 2. Great, with Savvy. That is pretty neat. What does it do? Focused Mind when this crew member is at full health, plus 1 accuracy. And Gregory and Laurent each have only 1 ability card equipped. The other cards are level cards. So I can put this on either of them. And that is very, very interesting. I think I'm going to equip this on Laurent, and then I'm going to give him Audrey's Myth and Axe, because that'll give that 4 damage weapon 1 more accuracy than it has now, plus Laurent will get another Savvy, and they both have the same synergy token ability, so we can continue to use it in the way that we've been using it. So that is quite a radical change at this point in the game, but let's do it. Let's spend 2 command to equip this. And then you can switch weapons anytime except during combat. So this Myth and Axe I will give to Laurent now. Which the only thing that's kind of a bummer about that is Audrey's got that distract level card equipped so that she can swap the enemy card's places when she successfully hits one. But we haven't used that ability yet, and if we really needed it, we can still have her attack and do it. So that's very interesting. Okay, now we need to draw an event card. This is the 3rd one. We have Ruthless Traders. Pirate traders from the south demand to do business with you. They threaten to fire cannons if you refuse. Make a trade, which is a cunning test of 8. If we fail, we lose 2 coins. If we pass, we lose 1 coin, gain 2 meat or 1 artifact. Okay, or we can ignore them, and then we draw fate. If we get 3 to 6, we take 3 ship damage. We're not doing that. Don't want the ship damage. So I guess we're going to make a trade. It is a cunning test of 8. And I don't like how much fatigue I'm starting to get out there, but I'm going to use Mac and Captain Odessa 4 cunning plus 2 cunning. So we're at 6. We just need to draw a 2 or higher. So as long as we don't draw a 1, we'll be okay. We draw a 3. Okay, so we succeed. We lose a coin, and then we gain 2 meat or 1 artifact. And I know an artifact is worth 2 coins, so it's kind of like you gain a coin that way, but I'm going to take the 2 meat because I think I just have more things I can do with that. It's a little more useful because I'm starting to get a lot of fatigue, so I might want to cook a couple of recipes and get like 6 fatigue off, and so I can use the meat to do some of that. So now we're going to take the first action, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel and then hopefully explore for that quest 3rd. So the first thing I'm going to do is travel, and I will fatigue Audrey, which will get us 2 craft plus an additional 2 with her level card. So we're up to 4. craft symbols. If we draw a 5 or a 6, then we can ignore hazards with that card. So I would like to draw a 5 or a 6. But then let's take a look. Even if I can only go a distance of 2, a max distance of 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. What I'll do is I'll only go 1, and then I'll use a command on the Hellfire Coal to move the additional 3 spaces. So I guess, do I need to fatigue Audrey then? Because I only need to go 1 space. The only benefit would be is if I draw a 5 or 6, then I don't have to do this test here. That'd be a distance of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I could make it in 1 shot. So I guess that's worth the fatigue. All right, we fatigue Audrey. We draw for fate. Hopefully it's a 5 or 6. It is a 3. All right, that's too bad. So we can go 4, 5, 6, 7, a max distance of 3. That is a pretty unhelpful number. So I'm going to travel a distance of 1. There's a market there. That is interesting. I could stop at the market. I don't really think I need to, but I wouldn't mind having more items like these nightmare gloves or what is that? A ghostly tool satchel that could give me more challenge icons, which by the way, that tool satchel, I had 1, 2, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could use that to get 8, 9, 10. If I don't use that, I'm going to need to use this here. So it's a command either way. So, okay, I forgot about that. Let's use that to get 3 more craft on that last test. So she's got 2, plus 2 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I can go a distance of 4 and ignore hazards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, that was more efficient. All right, cool. So next action, we're going to explore. And when I explore, I've got engage, so I gain a command token, and I will use the Elzerian Cookbook, and I will, because I want to take care of fatigue. I could get injured during this exploration, at which case I would like to heal some crew members at the end of the explore, but I'm probably going to run into a challenge too. So I've got a lot of fatigue out there. I want to do this now. So I'm going to use the cookbook. I'm going to make grilled fish. I will spend one of the meat that I just got from those pirates, and that'll do 3 health plus 4, 5, 6 health. I've only got 2 health damage, so that's fine. And now I can take care of 1 low morale. Nobody's got one of those, and also 3 fatigue. And Laurent's he's an attacker now, so I can't get too much fatigue on him. I'm going to take 2 off Laurent so that he can still participate again and not mess up his ability to do big attacks. And then the last one's going to be Gregory, so that everyone could, in theory, participate again. So I've got one. I really want to get this one off Mac next, then probably the captain, then Gregory, and then Audrey last. So now that we've done that, let's turn to paragraph R24. And this has taken us much further east than I intended on going. I didn't plan on leaving that other Atlas page, so hopefully this is the right place and it's not R27. I'm going to be annoyed if it's 27. So I look it up and it says if keyword third, turn to a different paragraph. And that is the keyword we are going for. So we are in the right place. So we turn to the appropriate paragraph and it reads, Krakoto leads you along a steep ledge until you reach a nook between 2 boulders. She pushes aside a wall of vines, revealing a wooden door covered in moss. She unlocks the door, and you follow her into a cave. The cave soon becomes a cavern. Light shines through a few dirty windows in the ceiling, illuminating the carpets, bookshelves, tables, and hearth. As you take in the cozy cavern house, a woman enters through a door on the far side of the cavern. She stares at your crew with 3 eyes. Krakoto marches forward, rage in her eyes. Naira, where's my ship? The woman, Naira, draws a short sword. I've hidden it, she says defiantly, a slight grin on the edge of her mouth. So we have 2 options now. Help the 2 sisters resolve their differences. This is a cunning test of 11. Wow. Or we can steal what we can from the cave while the sisters are distracted. Perception test of 9. Those are both big tests. And then depending on, for both of them, whether we fail or pass, then we turn to different paragraphs. There are 4 different paragraphs we had turned to. So this is really branching the story out. So I kind of like, I think I'd rather help them resolve their differences because I'm looking for this Emberstone. I don't know where it is. I think that's the only way I'm going to find it. But that's a cunning test of 11. Wow. Where am I going to get 11 cunning? I could fatigue Mac for 4. Captain Odessa for another 2. So that'd give me to 6. And then if I go all out, I can get 7, 8, a ninth from Kanan, and then I need to draw 2 or higher. It seems like a reckless amount of fatigue, but I don't have any other ways to mitigate it over here. I've got 1 command token, and I'd probably need to use that for a redraw, if anything. But I'd rather use it for another recipe after this. Yikes. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 cunning, and I need to get to 11. Let's not draw a 1, please. 4. Okay. So I did go a little overboard with the fatigue, but not that much. So we had a cunning of 13. We needed 11. So that was a big one. Let's turn to the appropriate outcome. And it reads, the sisters begin a heated recounting of what brought them to this disaster. Naira blames Krikoto for losing their crew to a horrifying zombie monster called Marasaro. He drove them mad and killed them because Krikoto tried to swindle the monster out of a totem. Oh, and that is a name that we saw previously. I'm just interrupting here. We saw that, I think here, there was like a hut, and that name was scrawled on the wall in blood. And I think that's when we got in the fight with the zombies at the end of the last episode. So the name of that monster, man, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Stuff is starting to make a little bit of sense. But I am glad to also hear the mention of a totem, just to verify there's a totem on the line here. So let's keep going. You should have just given it the Emberstone. Why did you have to keep it? Now everyone's dead. Krikoto draws the crimson crystal from her satchel, staring at it. After a pause, she hands it to you. I want to forget this ever happened. Please, take this cursed thing. And if you should meet Marasaro, do not play games with it. I know you seek totems, so I know you will eventually meet the demon. You can find it on an island to the northwest of Torza's apothecary. So now we're going to gain some stuff. We gain a meat and a grain and a material and a coin. All sorts of good stuff. Cool. And gain 2 XP. I don't know if we'll go to a port to use it. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 XP if we should choose to spend some. And we complete quest 188. So we'll put that into our completed quest tuck box that we've been maintaining throughout this campaign. Put them in order now so they're easier to put away at the end. And now we gain quest 187, which is this one here. This is keyword Emberstone. Trade with Marasaro. Krikoto told us to take the Emberstone to a shore northwest of Torza's apothecary. There, a deadly creature named Marasaro will trade us a totem. Well, okay, I was hoping we would just get the Emberstone and it would be a totem, that we would get it from this 3-eyed person, and then when I wouldn't have to trade with the monster, I would just keep it because I just want the totem. But it looks like we've got to go deal with Marasaro again. And now we can return to the ship, and that will complete the turn. Before we do that, do I want to make another recipe, even though I don't have the cookbook? I've got a lot of food available. How much fatigue do I have out here now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fatigue. That is too much for my comfort. I can do a recipe, take care of 3 fatigue, and I would definitely get 1 off Mac, 1 off the captain, and then another one somewhere else. Certainly a lot of options. And nobody's got any low morale, nobody has any health damage, so none of that's really a factor in what I pick. So I just want to pick the cheapest one, which is either going to be grilled fish or porridge, and I rarely use this grain, so I'm going to go ahead and make porridge for a cost of 2 grain. And I can remove 3 fatigue, plus heal 2 health, and I guess I'm exploring, so 3, 4, 5 health, but nobody is injured. So let's pick 3 fatigue. We're going to get 1 off of Mac, 1 off of Captain Odessa, and now 1 more. And so anyone can participate in a challenge at this point, but everybody who's got a fatigue, they're going to get -1 damage if they participate. So let's look at the challenges. If a strength test comes up, I can use Marco. Oh no, he's got the pistol now though. I wouldn't want to use Marco. I wouldn't want to use Kanan either. It's probably going to be one of them. If a perception test comes up, Kasumi, yeah, that would hurt too. Cunning test is going to be Mac. That would be painful. Savvy test, I could use Gregory. I would use him before, and I don't have to worry about Laurent because he doesn't have a fatigue. I'm just trying to figure out what person is likely to come up in a challenge that I don't want to get this -1 damage token. I think it's going to be Marco. I'm going to take that off of Marco. All right, there's 3 fatigue healed by spending 2 grain to make porridge. But I see a real opportunity to explore again in the future on my next turn. Maybe go find Marasaro, explore. When I do the explore, use the cookbook, get 3 more fatigue off. I think that's probably the plan for this next turn that is starting right now. So I know I'm going to want to travel again. What distance am I going to want to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just too far. What if I go the northern route? There's more hazards, but it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get there in 4 moves. 2, 3. This would be 4, 5. I'd have to jump over the binding a couple times, but 4 moves could get me there. Something to think about, or I could just use this Hellfire Coal. All right, well, let's take a ship action. Let's not get too far ahead of myself, and I will go to the bridge. I'm going to remove all spent command. I think it was just those 4, and then I gain 2 + 1 for Laurent. So 3 command. And you know what? I don't remember. When I explored R24, did I take my command on that one? I don't know. It's too late. Too late to go back, though, because I'm not going to stop filming. So we're just going to keep going, and I hope I did it right. All right, so I took command off. I gained command. I draw an ability card. Deck's getting low. It's got 4 cards left. Now it's got 3 cards left. This one is a 3, strength. And this says discard this equipped card to give this crew member 3 block. I don't know that I'm real interested in that, but I could still equip it to Marco and get a 3 out of the deck. That's not urgent. I'm going to hold on to it in case I come across a strength test. I can discard a couple of cards. That's fine. So now it's time to draw our deadly event, and we get Zokhmir Raiders. Thieves in a green Zokhmir-style ship latch onto the hull. Fight off the raiders. Strength test of 9. If we fail, we lose 7 health, and then we gain 1 artifact. Man, that is a big test. Strength test of 9. If I only fatigue Marco, then we'll have 1, 2, 3, and I could discard these to get 4, 5, which means I'd have to draw a 4 or higher. I guess I've got the Nightmare Gloves. 7 health is a lot of health to lose. And if I fail, then I'm going to just lose Marco. 7 health is more than he's capable of holding. But what I could do is just draw a card, and if it's a 4 or higher, I can use the Nightmare Gloves and discard these 2 cards without having to fatigue anyone. But ideally, I wouldn't have to use the Nightmare Gloves because that's going to cost me a command, and I don't want to have to lose a command. It'll gain me a low morale, but I don't care about that because all these recipes, not all of them, grilled fish and the soup, those 2 will take care of the low morale, so it's not a big deal to get rid of it. I guess I've got that Zokhmir wine too, but that's not a great value proposition for 1 command, remove 1 fatigue and a low morale, compared to these recipes that I can readily afford. But okay, we're going to put a fatigue on Marco. I'm not going to put another fatigue on Kanan or anyone else because it's just too costly to remove the fatigue. So I'm at 3. I need to get to 9. Let's draw this card. It is a 3, okay? So that gets me up to 6, and I need to get to 9. So I'm not going to discard these because that won't do anything. I'm just going to use the Nightmare Gloves, get me another 3. So I'm at 9 strength. I need to take a low morale, and that comes from the Nightmare Gloves. So that can go to anyone. When this character participates in a challenge, you have to spend a command. We're going to put that on Raphael. He's not doing any challenges. And then we gain 1 artifact for the event. So we didn't have to lose 7 health, which looking back on it, maybe I should have just taken the test and lost the 7 health. Who cares? Because if I do a recipe anyway, if I'm exploring, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 health back. I haven't had an issue with health right now. It's a little too late to take it back, but that was maybe not the best call. Okay, well, the event is over. It is time to take some actions. I'm going to start by traveling, and I want to go 4 distance. So I need to do a craft test. Once again, fatiguing Audrey. Not as worried about her having the 2 fatigue tokens at this point now, though, since she doesn't have the Myth and Axe. So she's got 2 craft plus 2 from her ability, so she's at 4. We're going to draw the next card. We draw 4, so that gets us up to 8, and I really needed to get to 9 or higher, so I'm going to use this ghostly tool satchel to get us up beyond 9, so we can travel a distance of 4 and ignore hazards. So from here, we will travel a distance of 1, ignoring the hazard, 2, 3, and 4, ignoring that hazard as well. So I think that was worth it. Now I can take a second action. We will explore. I will gain my command for engaged. So here's the command. And now let's go back to R2. We've got the Emberstone. Let's see what happens. So again at R2, if keyword unpaid, which we do not have, turn somewhere else. If keyword Emberstone, which we do have, turn to another paragraph. Let's turn. So this section reads, human skeletons lie on the beach, their bony hands stretching out toward the sea. When you land, you hold out the Emberstone. Marasaro, we have come to trade, you say. From the long grass at the edge of the sand, a sickly creature emerges like a cat stalking a rodent. A red mask covers the creature's face, and zombie limbs, rotting and filled with maggots, beckon. I would trade for that stone, says Marasaro. Maggots drip from the creature's mask. Give us the totem, says Mac. The crew watches silently, unable to speak out of fear or disgust. The creature throws a carved stone into the air and it lands near your feet. Snatching the totem, you set the Emberstone on the sand and back away slowly toward the rowboat. A coughing fit erupts from Marasaro. The creature leaps forward, snatching the Emberstone, watching you hungrily behind the crimson mask. But Marasaro remains in the sand, and you and your crew escape to the Manticore. Oh man, I thought there was going to be a combat. So we gain adventure card 120. So here it is, 120. And this is Nightmare Stone. It is a totem. So this is a totem to the god Zakra. You can use a command to remove a frightened and a madness. That is nice to have. I like that. And then we're going to complete quest either 187 or 201 and then return to the ship. So I guess there's a few routes to get here, but we have 187. That is Emberstone, so this one is complete. So let's put the Nightmare Stone up here with some of my other utility type stuff, but that is another totem, and that is what I was hoping for today. So let's get my achievement sheet. That is the Nightmare Stone. Where is that? Here. Cross that off, and I have never gotten that before. No surprise, because I've never been to this page. So let's add the Nightmare Stone to my list of new to me totems. So that is another turn down, another totem in hand. So I've only got a couple turns left. I would still like to take care of Idle. We went on this whole other side quest that I was not expecting. I'm glad we did, because we got a totem. But I'm curious about Idle. I think that also had something to do with somebody we talked to where there was like giant insects with wings, and we want to try and get the wings and bring them to Zockmere. So I think my last and best chance of completing Idle is probably to go here to R19. Maybe I just went too far to begin with, because it was supposed to be northeast of Zockmere, I believe. I know I went to R1 too, but I think it was northeast of here. We tried 36, 21, and 2. It could be 19, although that seems south of Zockmere. It's north of here. Or I could shoot up to like here, like R66 or even R25, but there's a hazard there that I don't want to deal with. Another possibility could be here, R26. Maybe that's my best bet. So I think on this turn, I'm going to travel. I'm going to pick a spot and go there and explore it and hope that that's the right spot. And I think it's going to be R26. But you know what? Before I return to ship, I'm going to cook a recipe. I guess it doesn't matter whether it's before or after, but usually I like to do it while I'm exploring so I can heal more health. But I don't have any health to heal. So let's just use the cookbook and we'll cook grilled fish. We'll use a meat. A grilled fish will actually have fish this time. It's not just vegetable fish. And I can remove 3 fatigue and 1 low morale. So here's the low morale. Where is that fatigue going to come from? 1 from Marco. Definitely. I'm actually not going to take 1 off Audrey because I am going to travel, but I don't need a fatiguer. I'm not going far. So I'm going to get a fatigue off of Mac and 1 off of Kasumi. I think that's the way to go. Oh boy. But I would like to get more fatigue off if I could. But all right, let's continue now. We're going to go into the next turn. How many turns do I have left? 2? 1, 2. Yeah, so this is going to be turn 5 today. Boy, oh boy. All right, start with the ship action. I think we're going to the quarters. I don't need to heal anybody. I don't need to go to the deck. I could go there if I needed more food because I'm pretty sure that that top token is still food. I haven't used all those yet. And even though I'd like to get rid of fatigue, I'm not going to the galley because there is a monster in there and I have not dealt with it. It's a nesting monster has been there for a real long time. So where did I go? This is the quarters. We're going to the quarters. So I can remove 2 command tokens. I probably want to take one off the Elzarian cookbook. And I think the other is going to be the Nightmare Glove. So I'm going to leave this one. I don't use the craft that much except for traveling. And I'm not worried about traveling at this point. So I'll leave one on the ghostly tool satchel for now. So I've removed 2 command. Now I gain 3 command. And before I draw an ability card, do I want to equip one of these? I could see a case for putting a strength on Marco for giving him another one because he can hold one more. And adrenaline is not bad for him. +1 damage if this crew member has 3 or more damage. If he takes a couple hits, he's got 2 block with this revolver, but if he gets a little bit damage, then he can do 5 damage, and that is a lot of damage. I don't really want to take the 4 out of the deck, but like we're gonna shuffle after I draw this, so it might be worth just getting a little more strength. Actually, I think the worst part of this is just spending the 2 command, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put adrenaline on Marco. So there we go. A lot of strength. This is spent, and now we'll draw our last ability card, which if I had been keeping track, I would have known what it was. And it was a 4. So I get this in hand, and it only costs 1 command to equip, but it's a cunning, and I don't really need another one of those equipped anywhere. So I'll just hold on to it and maybe use it in a cunning test. And now, before I draw the event, I'm going to take a quick pause to shuffle up this deck. All right, so I just did a big wash shuffle on the carpet. So these are all mixed up. I'm really nervous about it. I did not do a very good job this third act. I don't feel like of getting low numbered cards out of this deck. So, we'll be going into a final battle coming up in a couple turns here, and basically every draw out of this deck could be anything. So I'll have to try and keep track of these cards as we go. So we have some idea of what the makeup of the rest of the deck is in that final battle, because that's going to be important. But it's time for this next event now, this deadly event. Whoopsie, there goes the Manticore. All right, let's see what our event is. This is Fungus Treasure. That's interesting. You encounter a derelict ship covered in fungus. So we can explore the ship, draw fate if 1 to 3, lose 7 health, and gain a venom. If 4 to 6, gain 3 coins. Ooh, okay, so that's probably slightly better than a 50-50 chance. Or we could avoid the ship and its fungus. That's a savvy test of 9. 9 is a lot. And if we fail, lose 3 health and gain a venom. Man, so to get 9 savvy, Laurent's got 4, which means we would need to draw 5 or higher. I can get another 3 from Gregory, which means we'd be pretty much guaranteed to pass as long as we don't draw a 1. But that's just 2 more fatigue I need to deal with then. And you know what? I think I went through this calculus last time. Like if I lose 7 health, I really don't want the venom, but if I lose 7 health, I can get most of that back just doing 1 recipe when I explore. And maybe if I draw a 4 or 6, I'll get 3 coins. I'm not going to fatigue anyone. I'm just going to draw a card. So we get a 3. That's too bad. Okay, so I don't care so much about not getting the coins, but we're going to lose 7 health and gain a venom. Is it worth it? I just don't want to deal with the venom, really. Is it worth it to try and redraw fate? And no crew members participated in that challenge, so I could divide this stuff however I want. So I think I'm going to put the venom on Raphael. I'm going to give him 2 damage. He'll probably lose a couple more because I probably won't heal that. I'm going to give 1 damage to Gregory, because he's typically got 1 more health than everybody else. I'm going to give the other 4 to Audrey, because she's not really doing much for me now. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's okay. And that's it for this event. That could have gone better. But now I get a couple of actions. And I don't even think I'm going to travel at all. I think I want to go here and explore R26. I think that could be where I'm looking for idle. I don't really know. And to do that, I'm going to put a command on the Hellfire Coal. move the ship 3 distance. So it's not up to 3, it's just 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to loop around that way. And now I can explore R26, and I haven't taken any actions yet. So we will start with an explore action. I will gain a command because I've engaged. And now we can turn to the book. So this location reads, a swell of marine creatures rises from the sea, surrounding your ship and blocking your path. We can fight them, it is a level 16 combat, or we can turn the ship and run away. That is a savvy test of 8, and if we fail, we lose 7 health. So it doesn't seem we're in the right place for idle, which is kind of a bummer. I can easily pass a savvy test and retreat. Do I want to just fight them anyway? And you know what? I'm just going to do the savvy test. I need to do a savvy test of 8. I'm going to put Laurent and Gregory on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's draw a card. We draw a 2. All right, good enough. So we don't lose any health, and we return to the ship. That was kind of a bust. So I think I'm going to kind of wind this down because we're going into the end. I don't think I'm going to figure out idle at this point. I just don't have enough time. So at least we got a totem today. We're really close to this port and market. That's where I want to be. My second action is going to be to travel. I'm not going to fatigue anyone. I'm going to just draw a card. We draw a 5. So we can go up to 2 distance. I will go 1 distance. And we will end the turn here. And next turn, I'm going to hit the port. I'm going to take care of everybody, get ready. And I might hit the market again, too, just to see maybe I can get some more weapons or something to equip before going into the final the finale here. So, all right, that was it for this turn. Short turn. Didn't exactly do what I wanted, but that's okay. We're going to start with a ship action. We will go to the bridge. I guess before I do that, Raphael has Venom, so he needs to lose 1 health. So let's take care of that. All right, now I go to the bridge. I can remove all command, which is just going to be those 2, I believe. And then I can gain 3 command. So let's do that. And I draw an ability card, and we get... Ooh, this one's a 2. Craft, refine. I like this one, and I need to discard something because I have too many in hand. Let's discard, I think, the strength one. I think I've got strength covered pretty well. And now this is in hand, and I will equip it, I think, to Audrey. She's like my craft person, but she's got a lot of fatigue on her right now, so I can't use it immediately. I'll hold on to that for a minute. Probably equip it in a moment, though. So I've taken care of command, I've taken care of ability cards. Now we need to draw the last event. We have iron-eating insects. A swarm of termites are eating through the hull. Trap the insects and get rid of them. Craft 9. That figures that it's a craft test. Fail, take 5 ship damage. You got to be kidding me. She's got too much fatigue, so I can't use my craft person. Man, 9. Craft test of 9. I've got 3 there. 1 I could discard. It doesn't really make a difference to me if I discard this or keep it, I don't think. Well, I don't want to deal with 5 ship damage, so I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to use Raphael, who has to take a damage because he has madness. He takes a hit. So I'm at 1 craft. I'll use the captain and Laurent. That gets me up to 3. That's all I've got. So let's draw fate. I need to get to 9. Draw 5. Okay, well, that was fortunate. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8. I could use that. Do I want to spend a command or just toss this? I'll just toss this. That gets me to 9. Okay, so we pass. We don't get anything for it. We just don't take 5 ship damage. So now we can take a couple of actions. And my first action will be to go to port. And let's see, I will spend this 1 material to fix 1 ship damage. So now we have no damage on our ship. I like that. And I will spend 4 coins at the end. So let's take this 5 and replace it with 1, which, remember, we can only go to the inn once per turn. So each crew member will heal 2 health and a fatigue. All right, pretty good start. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fatigue and 5 health. And let's see what else. I could go to the healer to heal up for 1 coin per character. I'm not going to do that. We can also spend XP, so let's check that out. Let's count this up again. I think it's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do have 9 XP. I might as well use it. So I won't spend a lot of time on this today. 5, 6. I think I can afford anything. Oh, yeah. I wanted to get maybe this one for Kasumi. Talented, costs 7, gives her another one of these perception, and then it allows her to have 3 ability cards equipped. So I could then equip this other perception. So she would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 perception by herself. That would cost 7, so I'd only have 2 more. I don't think any of these cost 2. There's a couple of 3s. Are there any other options? No, there's some other good options. The other one I'd probably want is Kanan's double shot, so he can place pistol damage diagonally, but we went over this before. He already uses Odessa's synergy token when that's really needed, and then only he could do it versus giving the synergy token to whoever. So I don't know if that's worth it. There's some other good stuff in here, but I think this is the best use of my 9 XP. So let's spend this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with 2 left over. If I had just 1 more XP, I could have gotten another card because a few of those cost 3, but that's all right. I don't know if I've gotten this one for Kasumi before, but it is really cool. So we'll put her level card there, and then I can spend to command to give her another one of these. So she's got 3 ability cards. Pretty cool. Went hard on the perception route. And I think that's good because that's a test that I have trouble with. And so that was my port action. I did the inn, I did the shipyard, I didn't do the healer, I spent XP. I've got one more action I could take. I've got a few command tokens as well. But before I spend any command, I'm going to do my second action. I'm going to go to the market. Because I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 coins plus 3 artifacts. That's another 6 coins. Oh, 4 artifacts. That's another 8 coins. So I've got 16 coins. Let's see if we can get anything that'll help us out at the last minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We've got a number of weapons here. Blow darts, Alzarian trident, Azure ring of sprinting is accuracy, studded leather vest for some block, cake recipe. That's a pretty good recipe. It costs half as much as porridge. Let's see. Oh, Zokmir Hammer is pretty cool. And then Singing Necklace, passive. The active player gains 2 command at the start of each combat. Ooh, I would like to have that for sure. So I've got 16 to spend. This costs 6. I've got another 10 I can spend, which means the hammer and the trident are out. Don't even need to look at them. Let's not think about it too much. I don't need more block. I hardly use it. I don't think I need +1 accuracy. That's not great compared to the other accuracy stuff I've got. I don't need another recipe at this point. But I could buy the blow darts for 10. I can spend all my coins on that. 4 accuracy, it's ranged, 2 damage. It's not a lot, 1 block. I don't see any reason not to buy it. So let me put the 2 of these up on screen so you can get a good look at them here. Here's blow darts. Here's Singing Necklace. So what I think I'll do is I'll probably give the blow darts back to Audrey so that if I use her distract ability, I've got a little more accuracy to make use of it. And it's just one more ranged weapon, which is nice. And then, yeah, Singing Necklace, like I expect to get into a final combat, so a couple more command would be excellent. So I will buy these. It's going to cost me 16 coins, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's make use of what we got. I think at the end of this game, you do get a score for leftover stuff, but I'm not playing this for points. I'm not playing for the score. Playing for the story and the adventure. So I don't care about having leftover artifacts at the end. That doesn't really do much for me. So these, even though we're at the end of the game, I'll still shuffle them up a little, put them on the bottom of the market deck. I don't expect we'll cycle through this deck again with my no more actions at this point. Yeah, this is great. This is passive. Set it over here. And we will put the blow darts on Audrey. Okay, cool. So now before I end my turn, I've got a few command. I've got, let's see, 3 vegetables and 2 meat and a grain. How much fatigue? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fatigue, plus a madness and a venom and 4 health I could heal. I don't think it's worth it to do anything about the venom and probably not the madness either at this point. But I will use the cookbook to make grilled fish, and I'll just spend a vegetable. So I can take off 3 fatigue And then 3 plus 1, 4 health. Okay, well, health is easy. I don't have any low morale. So what did I say? 3 fatigue, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. I think it's got to be Laurent and the captain and Gregory. All right, I think that's the way it's going to be. Well, almost. I think if somebody had to have a -1 damage, I think I might rather it be Gregory than Audrey. We'll take it off Laurent, the captain, and Audrey, because now that she's got those blow darts, I might have her attack just to use that distract. I haven't had Gregory hardly attack at all, even after he got that weapon out of the dungeon, so I think this is how it's going to be. We're going into the end. That was my 2 actions. I'm going to keep my other 2 command. I might want those. And just push this off to the side so we can actually see the picture that's under there, which we've been not able to see for like the whole game. The Hectocron. All right, we're going into the finale now. This is it. So, where do we want to take our ship action? It doesn't make sense to go to sickbay or the deck. We're not going to the galley, still a monster in there. So I guess we're going to the quarters. We can remove 2 command tokens. Here's 1. I didn't even spend a second one, did I? That's okay. I just want to have as much as I can going into the end. So I remove the 1 command token we had spent. Now we gain 3. Let's have a lot of command. Now we're going to draw an ability card. And it is a 6, and it is strength. Rage, what does that say? This crew member may place damage diagonally, but may not participate in challenges. Very interesting. But I'm just going to hold on to that. I'm not going to equip it, even though it's really cool. It doesn't matter to get it back into the discard pile. We're not going to cycle through the whole deck now, but at least I can discard it if there's a challenge. So we are going to the finale here. This is the 3rd time the event deck has been displaced. We're going to read F.1. And before we do that, let's take this out again just for reference. The endings I have crossed off here, I've seen ending number 3 and ending number 6. I don't remember much about either of those, and I don't know if we see the numbers as we go. But if I can, and if I remember what those endings were, I will try and get a different ending this time, because there's 13 endings. I'd like to see something else if possible. So I've swapped out my Tides of Ruin storybook now for the base game storybook, and we turn to F1, the finale. A figure materializes from dust in the air. A short, plump woman with a nest of gray hair, though there's a transparent ghostliness to her. She wears an apple grin, and in her right hand she grips a tall bamboo fishing pole. It's the same woman you met when you first arrived in the Wandering Sea, the first person you talked to in this strange world on the rocky spire many weeks ago. The god Omlud. You've run out of time. The Hectocron wants to rule these seas, unchallenged by the gods. He's found you, and he's gathered enough strength to destroy you. It's now or never, so you'll need all the help you can get. Even if you fight him off this time, he'll return tomorrow, and the next day, and he won't stop until he sinks your ship. She disappears. So now we restore all crew health, remove all status tokens, including low morale, and remove all fatigue. Man, I forgot about that. I probably wouldn't have stopped at the port then. But I guess that works out, because I forgot at the start of this turn, Raphael should have taken a damage because of the venom, but then he'd remove it now. He'd also remove the venom token. Well, okay. That's all right. I still didn't have enough time on that last turn to complete that idle quest and get all the way back to Zockmere and probably get a totem out of it. So I think I'm still okay with what I did. The port action was a little wasted, but the market action was cool. So the instructions continue that say, remove all command tokens from all adventure cards and crew boards, then gain 7 command, plus 1 per player. Whoa, I forgot about that too. So I don't have any command to remove. But I'm going to gain 7 plus 1 per player, solo, so 8 command. And that's great, but also kind of annoying, because there's only 1 command left in the supply now, and when combat starts, I'm going to gain 2 command from here and 2 from here. There's only 1 left. So buying this card was a waste of 6 coins. I should have used that 6 coins for something else. So if I had remembered, I wouldn't have gone to the port, spent the money on the inn, so that would have gotten me 4 more coins. And then this is 6. I would have had 10 more coins. I could have bought I could have bought something else, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I would have been a coin short. But yeah, I would have done it a little bit differently. That makes my last turn, which I thought was a very good use of time, pretty inefficient. I'll have to try and remember that in the future. Oh, and then this too. You may now also spend any unused experience points to buy level cards. Well, I don't have enough XP, and I know that. So let's continue. And the story reads, something disturbs the quiet sea. A distant, tectonic pounding rumbles the ship's interior, echoing through the corridors. Foam builds to starboard until waves erupt and a giant creature emerges from the deep. Combat, level 26. That is an enormous number. So we need cards 46, 47, and 49. We've got the Hectocron head, Hectocron hands, and Hectocron tail. So let's shuffle these up. And we will lay them out here and fight off the Hectocron for the second time. And hopefully survive. Head, tail, hands. And we've got Audrey's ability to rearrange them if we need to. I've also got all sorts of adventure cards over here that I always forget about that hopefully I can make some use of. So let's get these tokens here, as well as these synergy tokens. And let's make a plan. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. So the head has 2 frightened, which we definitely want to take care of those because that'll prevent people from participating in combat. A 4 damage, a health, and a 1 damage. All 3 of these have a defense of 6 and a default damage from left to right of 5, 4, and 3. This one has 2 ship damage and 2 ship damage. I want to cover those for end of round and a 3 damage. This one's got a 2 damage, a 3 damage, and 2 damage. So basically very high damage. We've got some damage to the ship. I wouldn't want to suffer that too many times. And then these frightened, I definitely have to take care of. And since combat is starting, I gain the last command. So how am I going to approach this? Everything is just super high damage. That seems to be the theme here. So it's like when anybody gets to attack, they won't get to do anything else. That'll be the end of them. So I've got to negate some of this somehow. And I think I'm going to go nuts here. I'm going to start by using Stone of the Mind. During combat, place a synergy token on a different crew member. I'm going to put Marco's token on Audrey. Now I'm going to attack with Audrey. And she is going to attack the Hectocron head. It has 6 defense. She has, with her blow dart there, 4 accuracy. So she needs to draw a 2 or higher. She draws a 4. Good enough. And so we will use her distract ability, which doesn't work the way I thought it did. Before placing damage, she can make the enemy she hits swap places with an adjacent enemy, which is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it look like this, which makes that synergy token not as useful now if I swap these two. It's probably still a good idea to swap them. But if I had been paying closer attention, this is not the token I would have given her. So let's give her a different token. Let's give her Laurent's token. Would have done that instead. Okay, she does 2 damage with her hit. So we'll put that here. She'll spend. Oh, wait a minute. That's not going to work either. Boy, I've already got myself in a jam, huh? Okay, I'll put the 2 damage here. And I'll spend this token to do a 3rd damage on that 4 damage spot. Man, I've already messed this up. Should I swap these 2 before placing that? I guess I might as well. I think I might want to do that. Okay. Boy, oh boy. I could have thought that through a little more. Let's do this instead. We'll put her 2 damage here, her 1 extra here, and then we will also spend a command on... where do I want to do this? Let's go here on the Bloodstone and cover this one here, and she has to take 1 damage for the Bloodstone. Then she gets attacked back for 5. She blocks 1, so that's 4. That would KO her. Should I block something to keep her in? I don't think so. I think she's just going to get KO'd. Okay. That was a heck of a first shot. Let me try and use my head and do something smarter for the second thing. Oh, but also Audrey placed damage on a synergy, so I can give this to someone. Who am I going to give that to? I'm going to give it to Marco. I'm going to have Marco attack next. And he is going to attack the Hectocron head as well. And so he has 2 accuracy. He needs to draw a 4 or higher. Draws a 2. Not great. So how do I get 2 more accuracy? I can use a command token. We'll use these gemstone goggles. 2 accuracy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough. He does 4 damage plus 1. He's going to do 5 damage to the Hectocron head. And he's going to do that like this. 1, 2, 1 splash damage, and then 2 more down here, which gets a synergy token. So we're going to give his token to Laurent. And then he gets counterattacked for 5. He's going to block 2 of it, so he takes 3 damage. And with adrenaline, that means he can do an extra damage now. All right. 3rd turn, and I'm going to have Laurent attack the Hectocron hands. So he's got 1 accuracy plus 1 because he has full health. So he has 2 accuracy. He needs to draw 4 or higher. We draw an upside down 4. Great. So he's got 6 accuracy. That's a hit. He's going to do 4 damage. So I'm going to have him put that here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get his synergy token. And he's going to spend this synergy token to do 2 more damage that does not have any hearts on it. So he'll put 1 here on that 3 damage, 1 here on this 2 damage, and then we're going to use the Tusk of Slovalul to do 2 more damage, and we'll put 1 up here and 1 splash damage here on the Hectocron head. And now he gets attacked back for 3, 4, 5. He's got 1 block, so he's going to take 4 damage. And I think I'm going to block this one. He's going to block all 4 damage and gain a fatigue using Thrax's Charm. So let's put those tokens to use. Okay, we need to give his synergy token to someone, and I think we're going to give it to Kasumi. Okay, now I'm going to use a command token to, where is it? Use this one, the Stone of Screaming. Move a damage token on an enemy card to an empty adjacent square. I'm going to move this. And now there are no hearts remaining on the Hectocron head. So the Hectocron is, well, the Hectocron's still going, but the head is dead. Taking that out, this is what's left, just the tail and the hands. So that was a pretty sneaky way to not have to put 3 damage on, or put anything on that 3 heart damage, because that's a lot. And then I've still got 1 attack left. I was wondering, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not going to be able to take out that Hectocron tail by itself, or in one shot, I should say. But I will have Kasumi go next, and I will have her attack the Hectocron hands. She's got 4 accuracy. She needs to get to 6, so she only needs to draw a 2 or higher. She draws a 2. Perfect. So she gets to hit first. So she does 3 damage, and I'm going to spend the synergy token to do a 4th damage. So she's going to do the 3 here, and then splash damage for the 4th. Both of those were synergy spaces, so she gets to give her token to someone else. Who are we going to have her give this to? She's going to give it to Marco. So she gets attacked back now for 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a lot. Or no, this one, the hands. She gets attacked back for 3, 4, 5. Still a lot. She has no block, but I'll block 2 of it with the pan shield. Actually, just 1. We only need to block 1 with the leather coat. So she takes 4 damage. And now would be the counterattack phase, but I'm going to spend 3 command. Got all this command. It's pretty nice. I'm going to spend it. Oh, it's getting low now, though. And put it on the Stone of Fitness. Remove a combat token from a crew member and use it again. I'm going to remove this one from Marco. And now I'm going to have Marco attack. And Marco will attack the Hectocron tail. So he has 2 accuracy. This thing has 6. So he needs to draw a 4 or higher. He draws a 5. Perfect. All right, so he gets a hit. He does 4 damage. Plus 1 if he spends this synergy token, and then with adrenaline, plus 1 damage if this crew member has 3 or more damage, which he does. So he does 4, 5, 6 damage. And look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he takes out the Hectocron tail. It doesn't get to counterattack. And now we don't need to worry about any of this ship damage or other stuff. So that was, I think that was pretty good. So now we're at the end of round. Enemies get to attack 3, 4, 5 damage from the Hectocron hands. Let's do 5 damage to Raphael, since he's not doing anything else, and now he's fine. Now we go to a new combat round. So we've only lost one crew member, which is Audrey. And Gregory, at the end of combat, assuming we survive, will give her 1 health, so she'll still be around. So we need somebody to do 2 damage here to take this thing out. Who's got the most accuracy? It looks like Mac is my person, who has been in the Wandering Sea for so long. She's going to attack the Hectocron hand. She has 4 plus 1 accuracy because of Swordmaster, so she's got 5. She just needs to draw a 1. She draws a 4. That is good enough. So she gets to do 2 damage. Cover that heart, cover that heart. That's it for the Hectocron hands. There is no counterattack, and combat is over. So as I just said a minute ago, any crew members with no health will get 1 health from Gregory. So everyone is alive. Well, I guess they don't really die, but nobody's KO'd. So let's get this stuff out of here. And put these cards away. And let's get our ending. As the titanic monster sinks below the waves, the sky grows suddenly dark, the stars' patterns alien and exotic. The horizon shifts, and a solitary, stony island appears before the ship. Columns of white rock stand in a circle around a tower at the center of the island, and it feels like an eerie and cursed place, though you know you can't avoid it. You can feel in your gut that this is the way home. This is where the gods sleep. If you have no totems, turn to F20. Otherwise, keep reading. Well, we definitely have some totems. We've got 10 of them. So, you land and climb a cracked stairway that leads into the tower. Strangely, the air inside is stale, as if the sea wind cannot touch this place. White sand lies in clumps along the stairs, emitting an unearthly glow against the black sea and midnight sky. Inside, the tower is hollow. A borderless staircase runs up the wall's edge. As you start up the stairs, you hear a clatter of steps behind you. A ragtag group fills the doorway. Lucran soldiers, Zokmir hunters, archers and warriors of Pan. A man takes off his crimson helmet, his weathered, wrinkled eyes pleading. Stop! Don't wake the gods. They'll exact revenge upon these seas. Matt grips your arm, her frown cold and unmoving. Ignore them. We're so close now. The man in red armor drops his helmet on the chipped floor, advancing with trepidation, like a beggar. Stop now and give us the totems. We've been following you, because word was spreading about your crew, that you had lasted longer than any other totem seekers, even fighting back the Hectocron. People were saying that you might succeed, and they were right, but it doesn't have to end this way. A Pan woman steps forward, her bioluminescent skin glowing in the darkness. My people were destroyed for defying the gods. Many have suffered under their wrath. Please give this up. Stay here in our world. And we have 6 options, and I'm not going to read to you what all 6 options are, but I've seen some of these before. But the ones that apply to us right now are we can run up the tower as quickly as you can, we can attack them, or we can give them the totems. And I said I wanted an ending that was new to me. I want to do one I haven't done before, so I am going to give them the totems. And I've got to say, one thing this playthrough has not shown is that the gods have done some stuff to this wandering scene, to the wandering world, and they may not be so fantastic. So let's not wake them and see what happens. In your heart, you've known it would come down to this moment. You can't bring yourself to condemn an entire world, even if it means going home. The totems are heavy as you gather them, and you feel a weight leave as you hand your collection to the Pan woman. She thanks you solemnly, and the others bow and meet you, quietly offering thanks and assuring you that you are welcome in the wandering sea. But it's all too much for Mac. Silent until this moment, she erupts at the crew. You can't, not after all this time. I'm going home to see my sister, damn you. Mac jumps at the Pan woman before anyone can stop her and steals away with some of the totems, disappearing into the shadows of the tower. The crowd explodes with fury, scrambling after her, but even after hours of searching, no one can find her. You return to the Manticore, but it isn't long before the Hectocron trails you again, revived and out for revenge, bashing the ship's hull and scratching at it with mighty claws at every opportunity. He knows what you seek and who you are, and he'll never stop hunting. In a desperate move, you turn the ship full speed towards shore, beaching your beloved vessel to escape the monster. As the months go by, the crew members adjust to their fate. You make your way to Zokmir, the sanctuary city, a place where all those without a home must eventually seek refuge. Once there, one by one, the crew members bid farewell, seeking their own destinies. Gregory sits on the edge of a dock, sipping a cup of tea as the fleet of Zockmere fishing ships departs for the day's labor. It's so strange. It feels like this might actually be where I wanted to live all along. You sit next to him, swinging your legs over the calm turquoise water below. Sometimes we don't know what we really want until we can't choose, you say. I suspect, in many ways, I can live a life here that's just as fulfilling as it would have been back home. You fill your lungs, stretching your face up to the hazy sun. And I think I've finally stopped mourning my father. Gregory nods. Yes, but what about the manticore? A slow smile spreads across your face. I don't think I'll ever be able to let that go. We would not have survived this without you, Captain, he says. Thank you. You place a hand on Gregory's shoulder, and he climbs to his feet, strolling toward his new medical clinic down the road. The end. Ending 1. So let's take my checklist here. This is the first time I've ever had ending 1. Let's cross it off. Go back to the booklet. There's some more instructions. It says, mark down the totems you found on this campaign on the achievement sheet. We did that as we went along. The sheet tells you which cards you unlock. You use these in all future campaigns. Also, mark down which ending you got and your final score. We can score it up if we want. And then you can now start a new campaign, reset all the cards and components in the game. So for these unlocked cards, it says count the number of different totems and endings you have achieved to unlock these cards on all future missions. So how many totems have we gotten in all games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 3 endings, 25, 26, 27. So I had already unlocked 15, 18, and 22. So I have now unlocked everything that's unlockable. So that means I've unlocked quest cards 178, 179, 180, and 173 for the use in future campaigns. Now, I did not use any unlocked cards during this playthrough because I didn't want to spoil anything. I will show you right now just the first unlockable ones, 171 and 172, in case you're curious. So I have... let me take this down from here. I have quest cards 171, 172 here, and if I flip them over, it's directions on how to add this cargo bay ship location to your ship. So you can, of course, read it on your own, but if you want, when setting up the game, you may choose to add the cargo bay room to the ship, place it on the shipboard. It is another ship action. When you use it, you gain 3 command. You also draw 6 ability cards and choose 2 of them to keep. Discard the other 4. The cargo bay cannot take ship damage and cannot be disabled by damage. So that is just incredible. That would have been very helpful this game, or in any game, to be able to go here, draw 6 ability cards, and then keep 2 of them. And it lets you cycle that deck so much faster and get all the 1s and 2s out of that deck. That's really cool. So there's lots of cool stuff in these unlockables and at least 4 more cards that I have not seen that I am looking forward to checking out. But let's see if I can give you some thoughts to wrap up this playthrough. But I had an amazing time. I hope you really enjoyed it. Let me know if you would be interested in seeing me do another playthrough of the original Sleeping Gods sometime in the future. I'm not going to do that immediately. But let me know, should I do a season 2 sometime? Should I revisit this in a year or 2 maybe? It is June 29 of 2026 as I wrap this up today. So it's been just over 2 months that it took me to play through this, which is much longer than usual. Typically, I'll set it up and I'll play it kind of after everybody goes to bed when I'm not recording it. And I'll just play it every night for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I'll play through it that way. But because I was recording it, it was a little bit different circumstances. Took me about 2 months. I played, I think, the first 4 or 5 episodes in like a week or a week and a half, and then the last few got really spread out. But yeah, should I do a season 2 someday? Let me know. Also, I intend to do my next campaign playthrough on the channel will be Distant Skies, so the sequel game to this. It's got a little bit of crossover in terms of just little Easter eggs for the story, but you don't need to play one before the other. It's not a direct sequel. You can just jump into Distant Skies, or you can play that one first and come to this one. But anyway, I plan to play that next. That'll be my next campaign on the channel. My other question to you is, should I play a game of Sleeping Gods Primeval Peril in between the two to like kind of bridge the gap? It would be just a single video that's probably between 2 and 3 hours because it's a single session game. It's a longer like mini version. I've already got one full playthrough of that on the channel. I'll link to it here, but would you like a new one before I jump into Distant Skies? Let me know. But yeah, as I said, I had a great time playing. I just dabbled with Tides of Ruin in my previous playthrough. I was on kind of one map page, but I spent the whole third act of this playthrough doing Tides of Ruin stuff, and that was really cool. I enjoyed that. It feels fully integrated with the base game, so it's very natural to play it. You know, of the 10 totems I've got, 9 of them were new to me. This Stone of Blood was the only one I had seen before, so I love getting new stuff. I did feel silly though, like a lot of these cool adventure cards I just didn't make very much use of or didn't use them at all, like this Shadow Lantern. Ignore one enemy's counterattack. That is so... Why didn't I use that even in the last battle? This is typical. By the end of the game, you've got so many adventure cards, you forget all the things you can do and you don't play optimally. But doesn't really bother me. Didn't have an impact on the game. It was still a great time. I think overall I did a pretty good job following the rules. I know there were a couple small things people pointed out. I tried to make corrections as I went, as it made sense, but this should give you a pretty good sense of what it's like to play Sleeping Gods at this point. I'll also mention that it's like another year and a half out, I think, but I ordered Song of Silveranth, which is a new game in this same style by the same publisher, Red Raven Games, and all the same people worked on it, but it's going to take place in a new universe, so not in the Wandering World universe, but it's supposed to be a much, much bigger map than even this one. So someday that will come to the channel as well, I suspect. But I would definitely love to get all your thoughts on this whole playthrough. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you might like to see differently if I play again or when I play Distant Skies. And again, if you haven't done so, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with others. That would all be fantastic. I don't plug this very much, but I've got some merch for sale if you want to pick up some merch. And then of course, huge shout out to all of my coffee backers. So I'll put all their names on the screen here. These are all the people who've contributed to Table for One, either as monthly contributors at the reserved seating, tier. So anyone with an ongoing monthly contribution to Table for One is in all my videos under reserved seating. And then there's a Head of the Table award for the top 10 contributors over the last 90 days. But of course, you can make a contribution in any amount that you want, and you can do that one time or recurring. So head over to Coffee to check that out. But big series like this are not possible without the help of the backers. And then also this, midway through this series, I was able to upgrade to this green screen whole rig to my side so that I can zoom in on some of the cards. And I made great use of that, I think, during this campaign. And I was able to do all that through coffee donations. So thank you to everyone who made that possible. It's for that reason that I'm able to release all of my videos without any mid-roll ads, and I don't have any content locked behind paywalls. So just one more time to all my coffee contributors, it is very appreciated, very helpful, and very necessary to keep the channel running. So can't thank you enough. Anyway, I could ramble about Sleeping Gods for probably all day. So if there's something you would like to ask me about this whole playthrough series, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to talk to you about it down there. Otherwise, this concludes Season 1 of my Sleeping Gods campaign playthrough. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know I just had a phenomenal time, and I will see you next time on Table for One. Take it easy.